third consecutive win on the trot. Still, India's disappointing campaign formally came to an end with a convincing win against, guess who? Namibia in its last Super 12 encounter. When it comes to the result of the match, the writing was always on the wall, right? There were no two ways about it, but I would like to highlight three distinct points that I observed while watching the match from the press box and then attending the press conference in person. First and foremost, number one is uh, Rahul Chahar finally got a game in the T20 World Cup. It was actually expected. In fact, I was expecting India to make multiple changes since for the last 2 weeks, ever since they lost the first game, to top it all, once they lost to New Zealand, the whole management team, most of the players, barring Rohit Sharma, who addressed the media, have been harping on the workload management, bubble fatigue, and all those issues. So I was kind of expecting more changes so that the regulars who have been, especially the pacers, either Jasprit Bumrah or Mohammad Shami, if not both, to be actually given a break since the game actually was inconsequential in many ways. But Rahul Chahar, the only person who hadn't yet got a game so far in the T20 World Cup, got a game finally. The leggy, it's still young when it comes to international cricket, even in terms of his career path. He couldn't really get any wicket. He did trouble the Namibian batsman, but he came in place of Varun Chakravarti, and he did not really make much of a difference in the balance sheet of the game that we call as scorecard, right? My larger point in this respect is, one, the selection of the squad wherein Rahul Chahar was preferred over Yuzvendra Chahal was in itself controversial. Once they decided to stick to Rahul Chahar, even in terms of including finger spinners, they missed the trick by excluding R. Ashwin in the first two big matches. Those two matches were always going to seal the fate of India's uh, league stage success, whether they're actually in contention for a knockout place. Ashwin was left out, India were wiped out. And once Ashwin came in, he showed how the bowling attack actually kind of dominated. Yes, they played three mediocre oppositions in the group, but still Ashwin just showed his class in all three games, including the one against Namibia. That's point one. Number two is obviously related to it. Since I was speaking about the selection issues, it was bound to be one of the games to remember, despite being against Namibia and an inconsequential game in so many ways, because it was going to be Virat Kohli's last match as T20I captain, and Ravi Shastri and his two comrades, their last game with Indian team after a fruitful stint, especially in Test cricket. Talking about Virat Kohli, let's not talk about team selection. I've already dealt with it. More importantly, yet again, we saw for the third game in succession, he sacrificed his number three slot in the batting order. And that kind of sounded bugle to me for the times to come. One, we may not see Virat Kohli regularly in T20Is leading up to the next year's T20 World Cup. And two, even if Virat Kohli ends up playing regularly for India, it is highly unlikely that he will actually bat at number three whenever you have an opening combination like Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul. See, all these three batsmen conventionally prefer to play themselves in. And in T20 internationals, when each of the batsmen actually eats up 5 balls each, the team is under tremendous pressure. That's what happened against Pakistan. It was repeated against New Zealand. Since then, we have seen Rohit and Rahul batting in different gears right from the word go. And Virat Kohli actually promoting the big hitters instead of batting at number three, since the openers have got a start. So that is actually kind of ringing the bells for the new era of T20Is, if I may refer to it that way, with Rahul Dravid as the coach and Rohit Sharma as the captain. We'll obviously deal with Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid combo in the days to come. But the last and most important point was the manner in which the team bid farewell to Ravi Shastri, Bharat Arun, and R. Sridhar. Uh, we were waiting in the press conference area for Ravi Shastri to start addressing the media. And the press conference area, I can tell you all that it's sandwiched right between both the dressing rooms. So we could actually hear Shastri speak first. He obviously started off with a typical Ravi Shastri like thud, but his voice modulation later on, there were a few ups and downs when he was addressing the team. I'm saying I could not actually hear him speak that much, but the sound kind of gave a sense that despite being Ravi Shastri, that larger than life image that he carries, even he did choke for a while. Ravi Shastri spoke, was given huge round of applause by the whole dressing room. The same followed with Bharat Arun, who Ravi Shastri later on termed in the press conference as Guru of bowling in India, because he coaches not only players but even coaches over the last. He has been doing that for more than 2 decades now, and even R. Sridhar got a huge round of applause. That just kind of gave a sense about the respect these guys had deservedly achieved. Yes, Ravi Shastri did admit, in fact, not admit, he in a way tried to shrug it off, the fact that neither the revered combination of Shastri and Kohli as coach and captain has achieved greater heights in Test cricket, no doubt, but they don't have an ICC trophy in their cabinet. That would obviously one of the blots on their combination. And the when it comes to the other blots, I think we should just wait. Next time around, I'm sure Ayan and I will come with you for with more on the same. Till then, keep watching Sportstar. Thank you.